Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to Satisfactory, where we are standing in the jungle watching a couple of birds, waiting for food to fly in their mouth. I've never understood that about them. Why are they doing that? Hey, everyone, good morning. Welcome back to Satisfactory. Yes, we are back in, well, it's not exactly a factory. We are back out in the woods here. Why are we in the woods, you may ask? Well, the reason we are in the woods is because, well, you know, I built a railroad line out here. Why did I build a railroad line out here? Because there's nitrogen gas up there. Why do I care that there's nitrogen gas up there? Because I need them for our next thing that we're going to start building, which is going to be these. Yes, the fused modular frames are the next thing that we are going to be looking at getting into our city. Why fused modular frames? Because, well, fused modular frames are used to unlock the next tier that has the turbo motors, which is the Mark III miners, the turbo motors, the thruster units, and the other stuff that is necessary for getting our next tier of our space elevator. So yes, we are going to be working on those, but to get those, we need, first of all, we're going to need heavy modular frames, 3 of those a minute. So we have that. I could just drop a factory in, but it doesn't quite do the right amount, so I'll probably just build this into its own little high-rise back in the desert city there. Aluminum casing, we are of course making aluminum up in the red forest, bamboo forest area. I don't know if I'm making enough of these. We'll have to check on that. But the thing that we are definitely have no other source of is the nitrogen gas. And that's what we are doing out here. We are after the nitrogen gas. So if we move that off the screen, yes, that actually works. That you can, you know, actually see what I'm looking at because I'm not placed out. The nitrogen gas is in fact hiding up here behind the stinky rocks there. I've already cleared out a bunch of them, but there's some more to go. So you can see that pressure well that's right over there. We can zoom in because I'm still in photo mode. So you can see there's a pressure well. That's all the lovely nitrogen gas that we're going to go after. But, of course, it is not exactly in the... Oh, look, Mercersphere. It is not exactly in the most accessible area. Hence the railroad below our feet. Let me just drop down, come out of photo mode, and whoop, there we go. We catch ourselves. So I have this new rail line that kind of crawls up the hill here. Yeah, let's just go this way. Squirrel! You know, it's funny, all doing this, I never once noticed this guy hanging out here. There we go. All right. So, yeah, so I got this track coming up here. It's the usual thing. Hey there, buddy. So it's usually my usual setups here. I've had to do a few little kind of intercessional bits and pieces here just to kind of make sure that the wire has a place to flow there so it doesn't cross over the tracks. I don't like the wires clipping through. That just is a temporary power line. Just ignore that. But if we continue on down here, we can see that we got some boosters. We come flowing through here. We come around through this little tiny notch here. And we come to a roundabout. And look where we are. There's a roundabout, and there is our current oil processing and power facilities going on over there. So yeah, so we've come off the end spur over there. We can just come down to here. We got another roundabout. I was thinking about just having this line go up there, but at some point in time I may want to go off in that direction there towards the western lands, the green fields over there. Not really a lot of good resources. It's all normals and impures. But if you need space, it's pretty good for that. But yeah, we're coming out here, and we can just use the hypertube here to get back up top. We can take our little journey through the hypertube. Couldn't do it coming the other way because, well, it didn't have the hypertube entrance at the other end because the line is not finished. And that's what we're going to be looking at today. So today's plan is to finish this line here as we slowly climb up the hill. You hit another booster there, pick up a bit of speed. Is to finish this line. Again, I haven't quite decided whether or not I'm going to terminate the line at the station or carry the line through because I haven't really looked at what's beyond. Yeah, see, we're kind of coming into... Yeah, so there's coal nodes down here. It's basically the coastal... yeah, so look at that. We're actually not that far off from the western plains there. They're just kind of hiding over there. So yeah, this is as far as I got up here. I thought the rest of this would be something we can look at together. There's quartz off there. So this is not exactly... Actually, let me just head over here until my hover pack runs out of juice. Yeah, so there is quartz in there. Uranium is kind of over there. Aluminum is up there. So this is a pretty central location. The problem is it's not super open. And the reason that's a problem is, how do I break track off? Yeah, what's going on over here? So we got a path going down there, so... Yeah, so a little bit of a question of where exactly do I go from here? So one of the things I can do is I can turn going that way. That's actually a nice little downhill. Soft landing, thank you. Don't know why you guys are guarding, but I don't really care much. Where's my rifle? There it is. And we're gonna just pop, 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 pop. Reload. You definitely want to reload, because you do not want to have this thing stop shooting halfway through the killing. So otherwise, well, that's assuming you don't mind having, or want to avoid having those little bastards fly at you. Yeah, totally got squirreled what I was doing. So yeah, there's a pretty good path coming down here, which would continue on through the cave system here, which then doubles back into the city over here. Yeah, so like I say, I'm still in a bit of a quandary here. I've been thinking upon it for a few days now, and I really haven't come up with a decent solution. Because that's a lot of ground. I think what I'm going to do here... Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do here. Let's get out some old dynamite here. What I'm going to do here, I think, is I'm going to clear the terrain over here. Let's see how much we can do in one kind of barrage here. Let's go pop, 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 pop. Absolutely dreck. All I managed to do was kind of scare these guys a little bit. Okay, well, you run away while I continue out. So yeah, what I think I'm going to do here is I'm going to throw another roundabout right in this space here. Oh, good lord. Can I kill this tree already, please? Thank you. Must kill trees. There we go. So yeah, so I'm thinking we'll set up a roundabout in here, because then I can go that way if I need to. Like that. That should give me enough room to make the turn. And then what about the station? I could probably squeeze the station. What was a weird colored explosion? Why? Huh. Why am I getting those weird explosions? But I don't know. Anyway. This is very therapeutic, by the way. Or cathartic. Maybe not necessarily therapeutic, but certainly cathartic. Anyway, put that away. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the roundabout down here, then we can set up the station down in that way, and then we're still available if we want to reroute going any other direction. So yeah, that I think is exactly what we're going to do. But to do that, we are going to need to finish extending the track. So I did make a new kind of an update blueprint to the smaller rail sections here, in that I actually added it so it's got a beginning and middle part, as opposed to just the one in the middle part there. The reason being is because then it will snap and auto connect not just the tracks, which is awesome. I love the fact that it does that, but it also now snaps the hypertube, which is the way it was before, was a shorter distance than it is to the rail, so it was a little bit more of a kind of a pain in the neck to get everything at the right distance away. So I'm just going to push this guy forward here. Oop, I forgot to click. Get out of the way. So we're going to click. And we're going to slide down this way. We're going to, hopefully this little bastard here gets a... Really? You're just going to park it right there, are you? You know, bud? You didn't have to come into my area. Go away. Thank you. I tell you, these guys... All right, so let's try that again. So again, we can snap there now into place. Gonna hit hold, and we are just gonna slide this guy forward here. Basically, just until we are kind of clear of this rock arch. And right about... want to make sure that I have plenty of room here, so I'm just going to come forward a little bit more. Yeah, it looks like I'm probably going to have... Oh, I'm falling. Good pictures. Yeah, that should be big enough, or for far enough forward. Okay, so let's get some power lines connected here. I tell you, the changes they've made into... you know, the auto connecting and the new nudging. I've said it before, and I'm probably going to say it a bunch more times. One of the best quality of life improvements they've made to the game in a long time, if ever. Because it just makes running track here so much easier now. It was not easy if you wanted to run a long track. It was kind of a pain in the ass. And now it is dirt simple. So I'm just going to come out by 3 here. And then I'm going to grab the 1 meter and put in 2. So this is kind of the standard kind of layout I put in for when I bring a roundabout in. This is also going to help me determine whether or not I'm too far this way, which doesn't look like. It looks like I'm almost bang on, and I got a lot of space here. I can actually put that station in, because I just need a station, maybe enough length for like 3 or 4 cars, depending, because that's all pure. It's actually a really good location. So if we look at it, have a look here, you can see that it is, what is that? 7 pure nodes. So that's a lot of nitrogen gas available. So I probably should have multiple dock freight bits on here. So just to make sure that, you know, I can draw from this for quite a while. All right, let's get our roundabout here. So we're going to look for our rail turnaround, rail roundabout cross. Again, the fact that we have the zoop or the nudging, I could just drop that into place and anywhere, literally anywhere, and then move it to where I need it to be. All right, so I got to remember that this is 1 too low, so we'll give it a little bit of a nudge, there we go. So that will put this deck height at the same height as the rails here. Excellent. Okay, these guys need to be fixed. Ow! Someone just shot me in my ass. Who just shot me in my ass? Did you just shoot me in the ass? Here. Have one of these. Yeah, I think that took care of him. You just gonna have one of these. Didn't hurt you. Are you still alive? Okay, he's dead now. You shoot at me, I shoot back. I spent a lot of time making sure I could shoot back at you. Okay, before I was so rudely interrupted. Okay, so we got a platform floating here. Let's get some more of these. Yeah, I do need it'd be nice if the blueprint was a little bit wider, but it ain't quite wide enough to get the full bits and pieces in here. All it can do is give me the central cross. I'm falling. Up we go. There we go. Thank you. We can get rid of these guys now. Just like that. And all right. And then we can go. Jeez, I did it again. All I want to do is that and that. Okay. Now we can come back here. Okay, so let's get some tracks in here. And again, the new improvements. Track. Oh, like they really. Nope, that's wrong. They really did some amazingly good updates. Like starting track here, that you can just drop your start node right where you need it to be. It can pull itself into a curve. You don't have to have that one little straight bit anymore. Again, I keep forgetting that I'm out of reach of power over there. Maybe I should do that first. Is get some power flowing through the track. So we'll go to there. And we can come through here. And then we come to immediately to another new improvement is that you can insert anywhere into an existing line, whether it's got a break in there or not. It will just make the break. So getting, just so many good new things that they've added in. And it just makes the counting, it just makes laying tracks so much easier. All right, now I got power along the rail. Pardon me. And we can finish getting this circly business done. Okay, so that brings the roundabout round. It's that's a 6. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so it's quite a wide circle. And I'm just starting to wonder if maybe it's a bit too wide. Because I need to maybe turn around. Oh, I can do this. So I gotta figure out where I want the track to go. Try that again. So if I come off here, I can make that corner. Or, yeah, I think I'll do is just head off in that direction. So I'm going to lay some foundations here. Going that away. Pretty sure there's absolutely nothing else over here that I'm ever going to... catch. Okay, there we go. That I'm going to want to worry about. So we'll just clear out some trees here. I think I just... There we go. And there we go. Okay. All right. So that should help there. Do I have enough room? Yeah, I know you're still down there, buddy. I'll get to you. because I still need enough space to come off of here. It's a little bit of an awkward spacing in here, not gonna lie. But, you know, again, it is what it is, and it is what I have to do. So if I come to here, I could make that sharp of a corner. You know, normally I'd come all the way out to here, but I need it to be right nice and tight. So the train's going to come in through here. Let's run some more foundation. Let's actually switch these guys up here. And I think I'm going to make you guys into 2-meter foundation. So we're going to go to here, and then we're going to go off in that way. So we'll start laying a platform down here. There we go. And then the return trip. Looks like it should make the corner right about here. Oops, wrong way. Let's say you can make your corner right here. No. Okay, what's the sharpest I can go? Right here? No. That's a bit too... Actually, because... Match the other side. Sorry. There are certain things that you want to spend your time doing and getting it right the first time, because it can make your life easier down the line. So I'm trying to just make sure I'm getting some good track joining here. There we go, just like that. And I am leaving this extra space here because it does take quite a bit of room to turn. Is that going to work for me? No, it's not going to work. And this is why, again, I'm spending the time now. Because I need enough room on this side for the station. So I'm thinking I'm going to do is we're going to have the trains come out this way. So we'll have the station kind of lying along this direction here. So if we grab a station, it's not going to like me here until I hit H. So if I hit H, how far over can I get it? Yeah, it won't put it down if it doesn't have anything suspended unless you put it into the hold system. And then off it goes. Oh, look at that. I could put this station here and have it go along that way. The problem is that I'm probably going to need a few more freight platforms or gas platforms. And I don't want them running into the cliff side. So let's put you there. We'll grab some foundations. We'll grab this little bit of track here. Oops. And we'll put that there, and then we can join up comfortably right there. Yeah, just like that. Okay, and then coming off of here, I'll work backward the other way so we can extend these going off into that direction here. We can extend these guys going off in that direction. And back through there. Let's get these guys. Let's get all of this filled in here. Okay, so we're gonna need fluid freight. We'll have the inputs over there. Like I said, I am eventually going to want to maybe have 2 more. But for now, I am just going to put in the catwalks. Like so. Okay, and it's a minimum of 6 platforms to make a full 180. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I just need to come out to, ooh, that is tight, but that is okay. So we're going to keep moving this way here. Just like that. And like that. Okay. Really tight over here, but I should be able to avoid the cliff face relatively handily. Let's see if we can. Okay, so we're going to come around from there. Going to pull it in as absolutely tight as possible. Yeah, perfect. So we can miss the cliff face. I can even go sharper than I actually need to. Isn't that nice? Okay, let's get that grabbed again. It flipped on me. I'm going to drop a little bit lower because what I want to do is I just want to aim kind of generally towards that. Or do I want to come maybe like that? We'll grab this line here. Oh, did I not center you properly? Yes, you are centered properly. Okay. Pull you to, let's say, nope. Something does feel a bit weird about that. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to pull out that section of track. We'll flip this guy around here. Run you back to here. That should be a nice little comfortable zip, and then we can reconnect right like that. Perfect. Okay, so that's going to have the train come in through here. It'll go through the two platforms. If I need to extend it, that's obviously going to be pretty straightforward. I can go quite a distance that way if I need to. Again, there's nothing really over here much that I need. This is actually the first time I've ever needed anything from this section. This entire region here, the only time I've ever worried about it is to get at some of the 3 quartz nodes that are over there. So it's nice that I actually have this track here, so I can just go grab some quartz and off I go. If I need a bunch more quartz, I mean, I have a pretty good supply of quartz right now off in the Titan Forest. So I'm not too worried about getting there, but it's nice to know that we are doing a little tiniest bit of future proofing. Okay, so that's got this station in here. Now, we are going to need to get, obviously, to the nitrogen, but that's just going to be running some pipes down, I think, the cliff face here. Let's get some signaling in and make sure we've got support pillars underneath all of our floaty stuff, like right here. Let's grab these guys here. We're also going to need to make sure that we connect our hypertube, our power lines, and of course, we do need to connect the hypertube to the roundabout. All right, up we go. Now, for the tube, I'm gonna need one of these because it's this little thing I built here for kind of lifting up isn't quite big enough to get over the track. That means the train will clip through, and I just don't like that. So what I'm gonna do here, or what I have been doing, is I'll come underneath here. I'm gonna pull off most of the way out. I'm gonna then nudge it back. So again, I just hit H, and the nice thing is you can nudge an entire zoop line. So I can do that. Then I can grab that guy right there. That puts it at, what am I, oh, okay. The correct height then for me to grab one of these things, which we can do by going into right here, elevated tube support. Make sure our arrows are pointing the correct way, and there we go. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. No, I want to have curve there, please. That's a bit too straight for me. Not noodle, we want curve, which is noodle plus. All right, there we go, and that gives a nice kind of clean line for underneath. For power lines, we do have to kind of bring that up to there, nudge it up, because these guys here will not create the proper end. So like if I show you here, you can see it's trying to create a power pole. I don't want a power pole there. I want one of those ends, because then we can just go like that. And that should allow me to have my train coming through. Perfect. Okay, so we get a little bit more tracked and foundation stuff in here. We can actually, let's have this whole platform. I know, I see there's someone below me that's upset with my presence. They're gonna have to deal with it. Didn't even know where he is. Hello. Who down here upset by me being here? Is it you? Oh well. Still very satisfying. Actually, it's not. Is it? I'm trying not to sound like an absolute monster. Anyway. Okay. Blue slug. Took care of that. Got rid of that. We need to give this guy a name. We'll just call this Flip Top Nitrogen Depot. Yeah, that's what we'll call it. Look at the power. My max capacity or consumption has already past my max capacity. You can ignore this number here because that's taking in the bio generators, which are technically still on the grid. So they're adding their pathetic little 630 megawatts to it. But this is actually the line that is my current fuel output. My current consumption is still safe, but yeah, we're already going past that on this thing. So yeah, it's the great power chase. Okay, so we got our station here. We got to get some signaling in now. So first things first, let's grab a path signal. So I'm going to need to put a path signal right there. And the reason I'm putting a path signal there is because, you know, does it go this way? Does it go this way? For every path signal, you do need to have a block signal there. And then we're going to throw another block signal there. And you can, that hasn't fixed the path signal yet. Okay, let's grab another block signal. Going to hit R, and that's going to do is flip it to the inside, so you can see my arrow is still pointing in the right way. So R allows you to flip from there, and the mouse wheel allows you to change the direction. Kind of the new working. And the reason I'm bringing that in there is just keeping it all nice and contained within. All right, this guy here. Now you can see how it's trying to snap to the middle there. I don't want it to snap to the middle. If I do have a track going off, like you can see over here, let's show you here. So that's where the kind of track was originally connected there. You can see how it's trying to put the block signal directly in the hypertube. I don't want that. So what I'm going to do here, we select our track. We rebuild that corner so it doesn't have that break in the middle, which gives us the ability to now slide along there. So that when I grab myself a block signal, I can now put it on this side and I can position it exactly where I want. And I'm going to want it on this side here, maybe just on the right between the wire and the hypertube, just like that. So now my trains come along and nothing's getting blocked off. Of course, it's still not giving me good indicators, but that's because there's no signaling going all the way back. So we're going to have to get a few more signals in here. Again, I'm going to keep the signal on the inside, so we're going to put one there. We'll put one there. Has that fixed anything? Oh, I know where I'm missing. I am missing a block signal right here. Now, I'm not going to worry about this because, well, the platform's right here. In fact, just to kind of keep things clean here, let me get rid of this. Which, you know, it is a great many bits and pieces here, so a little easier said than done. So we're going to do that, and we'll get rid of all this stuff. Like so. And there we go. I don't think you're doing anything. No, you're not. Excellent. Okay, so if we're not going to have anything there, we can just drop that in there, and that immediately fixes that signal up, and all the signals are working. As I head back, I'll put some more blocks. You know what? No, I'm going to put these back on the outside, just for regular traffic purposes. So we'll grab one of these. I'm gonna need a path signal here. Yeah, so I'm gonna put a path signal there. It's getting picked up by that block signal, and then we're gonna put some block signals going this way. So we're gonna flip around to the other side of the track. There we go, so we can have them on the outside of the track. Go like that, go like that. Did that clear up my signals? Yes, it did. So yeah, very long block going that way, very long block coming back up this way. Don't expect a lot of traffic up here, so I'm not too concerned about it, but as long as my train does not get locked behind something. And as I kind of head back, I'll fix those signals up. In the meantime, what I want to do is to get a resource extraction. I hate these, so we're going to get rid of these guys here. So we'll go boom, 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 boom. There's still someone over here. No stinkies. No stinkies. There we go.
Look through the window and witness a threat. Be appropriate.
I miss Ada and her doing their little conversation. It might be because I haven't done anything on the tech or the MAM research on that in the last little while, so... Okay, let's clear out some terrain here. And by terrain, I mean party rocks. Oh, I should probably go grab my jetpack here. And, ooh, I am almost getting out of gas filters. Not good. All right. Is that everybody? Yes. Okay, good. A little bit of rock. Okay, so we're going to come through here. So I'm going to clear these trees out. And... yeah, because the station is right down there. All right, power lines. I don't want to pull it off the station. I'm trying to keep the stations completely off the power grid. I have no idea why I'm doing it, but it is something that I have decided I want to do, so that is what I am going to do. All right, we're going to need to bring, though, the power line over. So let's grab one of these guys, because I want to... where's a good... let's say right about here. If I go up by 2... I can grab Mark II power pole and just pop that right on top. And what that does now is allows me to connect right through there and have lights of clearance. Thank you. Thank you very much. All right, we can put our hover pack back on so we're not burning through the biofuel. There we go. We can put that back on because we actually have a power pole. You know what? No. I want to do that a little differently here. Let's try that again. I'm going to grab... yeah, I'm going to use the pillar and put that there. So I'm going to keep it on the center line. I'm going to drop it down by 2 nudges. So that's a full meter. Because it's 500 centimeters per nudge. Yes, that's metric, not freedom units. Huh? Yeah, I'm going to put that there, and the reason is because I think what I want is to put a light right there. So we're going to grab our 2 light stand, and we're going to see if that just drops into place. Look at that. Just like that. Bada boom, bada bing. And now we can stretch a wire. And if I'm correct, my train will happily go underneath that wire without any muss or fuss. In fact, I'm going to do the exact same thing here so it's all nice and even. We're going to put one of those in there. We're going to grab one of these. We're going to put that there. We're going to grab our wire. That is... Oops. Oopsies. I boo-booed. I done a boo-boo. So we're gonna do that instead. What's throwing? Yeah, it's the... It was halfway, but it's the spacing is throwing me off there. That's what I want. And I know that's a middle pillar. But you know what? Middle pillars deserve to be represented too. Okay, I'm going to put the lines across there. That way the signal does not get in the way. Now I'm going to connect. And we have let there be no light. Wait, where's my light? What happened to my power? My power got cut off, I think, right here somehow. Yes, there we go. Okay, and let there be light. Excellent. Okay, so how do I want to do the pipe run here? You know, I don't want to just have this platform floating out here. I want it to have a little bit of some kind of style. I might even come back and actually put a shed over top of it? So if I grab like that, I'll come up to here. Up to there. So let's take the top windows off. Hello, Mr. Mouse. Oh, I've been using this mouse for such a long time. I love my little mouse. It is very comfortable for my hand, but unfortunately, I think it is getting close to its retirement age. Which is a little bit funny, because I've had you know, in the last little, over the course of the summer, I got myself a nice new PC. Wonderful little MSI machine. Yeah, good machine. I'm very pleased, happy with the machine. And it came with an all new keyboard and mouse, which I have not even taken out of their packaging. All right. So we're going to come through here. We're going to have more window right here because we're going to have to account for that. So we're going to come through to here. Put up some more wall here. This is not the stage I'm usually start worrying about decorating, but it is going to help me determine kind of how I run the pipe. All right, this wall here can just be a concrete wall, kind of going through. Now, having rocks poke through is one thing. Having trees poke through your building or branches poke through your building is a whole other matter. And hello to the chat as well. I just noticed there's messages up there. You playing Satisfactory, are ya? Hey, Char. Yeah. Bro, this is underrated. Thank you. Hello. Currently playing Satisfactory 2. Awesome. Yeah, totally cool. What you working on? And how far are you in? Not that I'm, you know, making a competition or anything. I'm just, you know, how you doing? How you doing in your game? Are you getting where you need to be? Are you struggling? Are you new to the game? Give me all your deets, man. All right. Okay, let's get a little bit. Again, I'm not sure why I'm still working on the building here. This just started as kind of a quick It is not, I think, going to be the final look. I want to get a lot of kind of pillars and stuff like that in there, but I'm just kind of thinking I need to get something in here. Something in here for bringing the pipes in. So let's do a bit of roof line right here. And we'll... I'm going to go up like that. We're going to come down. Nope, down. Yeah, I have to do the up to go down. We're going to grab another one of those, and then we're just going to go whoop, up again. And did that actually work out? Yeah. It did too. Perfect. So that's 8 across. Perfect. Oh, that is terrific. Cool. So we're going to need to come up. I'm still working on this stupid building. Why am I still working on this stupid building, man? Okay, that screeching there ruined my throat. Okay, I did that voice and all kinds of bad things happened to my face. Starting from choking on my own spit to somehow triggering a sneezing. Yeah, anyway, let's get back to this. Jeez Louise. Huh. Sorry about that, sneezing again. Okay, so gonna have a bit of a roof line there. There is a sort of a purpose in me still working on the building because it's gonna help inform me whereabouts I'm going to run the pipe. So, I think I want the pipe to go through the wall, but we're going to think about that for a minute while I take a quick bio break here, and I'll be back in just a moment. So stay tuned. And I'm back. Thank you for your patience. The joys of being a middle-aged dude. Just when you gotta pee, you gotta pee. All right, here we go. We can get... okay, stop. No, stop. Stop working on the damn building. Get the pipes. Okay, so I'm going to have the pipes come in through the wall and run along here and then come down into the station. Cool. Okay, so let's get our piping. There we go. I'm going to use Mark II pipes. We'll kind of get you up to here for now. What do we got? Horizontal, we got straight. this. Okay, so we're gonna, whoops, position ourselves so we can see what we're doing. We'll use the nudge. Now that's not quite how I want the pipe to run out of there. It's also going into the wrong location, so we'll do that whole thing again, and then once more point it this way. Okay, so push it back, get it nice and straight coming out of the station. Like so. Awesome. Now, of course, I don't want the pipe being right in front of where that guy's going to run into, but by dropping that in there, it tells me how the pipe is going to move, so that when I drop the pipe down, it'll go the opposite direction, so I have those nice, clean, straight lines, just like that, which is awesome. Exactly what I'm after. Of course, one bit of a problem is that it is going to run into the other roof line here, so I am going to have to drop it down. And we'll drop it down by just going like that. Because I already have the alignment. That was the kind of whole previous point. Sorry, got a whole freaking tickle in my throat again. Oh, that's not good, man. We'll just start sounding like this again. Okay, so is that still going the right way? No, I did put one a little bit off. We'll have to move that to there. The stupid thing is, this is not just a silly voice, it's mostly, but there are definitely parts of that that are me feeling like I'm dying, man. Okay, out to there. We'll bring you to there. Make sure it's actually straight. Might work better here now. Sure. You can come back a little bit. No, we can go right to there. Okay. So that's got that down to there, which is what I need. Need to bring some juicy juice across to the facade. Into the facade. We need to go to here. Okay. And turning zoom off. Then we're going to put a couple of these guys in. And there we go. That's what I'm going to do here. We're going to make a little bit, while we're here, we'll do a little fancy pants. We're going to come down one, come down one, come down another one. And we'll go across like that. There we go. All of that just so I can take a power line right off of you. Right off of you. And, we'll do it up there. I'm going to nudge it in midair for a little bit. Like that. Okay. There we go. Because we'll just... There. Now it doesn't feel quite as weird. Only I'm going to need to replace you with something else, because of course I need to have the double-sided variant, so put you there, and then we can connect you back up. There we go. All right, so we got that on the inside. I'm going to need interior ones, so not double-sided, so I will have to manually place this, because if you just try to grab a wire off of there, it will use whatever the last connection point was as its next connection point. So if you can see I have a flat one going here. That's a Mark III. I don't want a Mark III. I just want a Mark II, please. You can see that it's a proper Mark II. It is just there's no other side there. However, if I just grab a wire, you can see that it automatically adds the other side because it's trying to be helpful. I don't really have a reason not to bring the wire outside right away. No, I'm going to keep it on the inside. So if I don't want it to have that, I do have to make a kind of normal point. So now if I connect these two wires together, we got a normal point. And now from now on, you can see that it's going to use whatever that one was as its next one. So it is just a single-sided. So yeah, a little bit of a, you got to kind of do a little bit of faffing around there, but it is what it is. Okay, we'll come around the corner here. And we gotta get up to here. And then we'll wait till see where we're going from there. All right, got a good start on the infrastructure here. Now we need to bring our pipes through. So we're gonna go and just pull up a little bit of a, like that. Yeah, that should do all right. So if I grab a platform or a foundation, I should be able to pull you guys all the way over to here and even have you all at the right-ish height. I'm gonna go with 4 meter just to make sure we don't have any air gaps underneath. Gonna go like that. And hopefully that's not too high. Okay, so putting in pressure wells. We need to, first of all, we need to put a pressurizer in, and that's this big ass monster right here. So he goes in first. There's my power connection, so we'll have him point down that way. So we got to put one of them in first, and then, well, there's a nice convenient wellhead right here. So we'll do that one first. Okay, so there's another one. There's a rail head underneath there, or a pressure head underneath there. You can see that's not going to snap in the way. But if I grab a extractor, that might be too thick a concrete. Let's go down to 1 meter. Yeah. And then we go across here. That really doesn't do anything. Okay, so now if I grab my resource well extractor, what aren't you happy about? Okay, so you don't like having foundations under you, do you? No, why? Oh, because this is not powered. Okay, that's the problem. That's not powered yet. So that means I need to bring some power lines up first. So we're going to drop that down to there. And we'll just kind of close off that bit of wall. And we'll do the same here. Yeah, and then I'm just going to cut through right there. Like that. Where's the pipe? And my power line. There's my pipe and my power line. I'm going to take that out of there as well. Because we'll just have this as like a little alcove that runs up. Okay, so let's grab our pipe. Which is not really the most important thing at the moment. What's more important is the power line. Let's try and get the power line there and stretch you all the way down to here. To there. We'll tuck around the corner here. And we're going to go here. All the way. Oh, that is... Sorry, that's me playing a different game all of a sudden. And jetpack use does not work like that in Satisfactory, so stop trying to do it that way. Up is up, not in the direction of travel like it is in Space Engineers. Okay, there we go. So what I want to do here is I'm going to put a ceiling mount there. And I need to get a power pole now. Actually, what I probably should be using is a power line. So we'll use a light stand. With the arrow facing inward. So we'll park you there temporarily. So what I want to do now is line up the pole with the little connection underneath. So we'll nudge you over a little bit. I think we need to do a half nudge back. Just like that. And where are you sitting? Inside here. You're kind of right on the corner, and that should be exactly right. Okay, the reason I want to line up is that way now when I pass a wire through, the wire is encased with inside the pole, which means not visible, and I get my happy wire coming up to the top, and you can see that it is now powered by the pool of light. Okay. Let's get another one of the, or two of these in. Can I get my, there we go. Blueprint mode. I will put another power connection here, or light stand there, and just to kind of keep things moving along, we'll do that as well. And we'll get that to there, and then that can go to there. Okay, so now I should be able to drop those foundations across. Now that it's actually pressurized, and must be placed on an act. There it is. So you can see how it's pooping up now. That means there is gas that can be extracted. And you can see how it pushes up the gas out of all the other nodes. All right, what are you actually producing? You are producing 120 per minute. How are you? You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 times 120. I know I could do this in my head, but I don't feel like it. 120 times 7. No, that's a plus sign. Times 7. So that's 840 potential nitrogen over here without using power crystals. Yeah, actually, look at that. It tells me right there. I didn't even have to do the damn math. If I was to throw a bunch of power crystals in there, I could pull out 2,100. Okay, so know where I'm getting most of my nitrogen for the next little while. Right here. Right now. Right on this stage. Loose, very, very loose Ed Sullivan reference there for the people who don't know. What is he doing now, and why does he keep making fun of voices? Okay, we need to now... But we need to... some window stuff. So I'm gonna go like that. And then I'm going to grab the steel window, which is gonna go to there. Then I'm gonna put... Actually... No. We are going to put that there. Okay. Ooh, look at that. Don't even need to put it in the bit. Oh, God. Thank you, the nudge gods. So what we're going to do, we're going to go all the way up to there. We're gonna grab these guys here. And if I raise you by 1, 2, can't put you there, but I can put you there. Does that give me any kind of, what does that look like? That actually looks mildly more interesting than just having the glass. Yeah, okay, that's the way we're gonna do it. And then we are going to lift you. And what I'll do here is just punch with the soup. Oh, can I? I don't think I can. I want that out of there. Nope, I need that one out of there. Oh, it's the wrong heights. Oh my goodness. Sure. Let's do it that way. And then we can just come back down like that. Okay. Sure. That'll look. Again, I'm not sure why I'm spending all this time on the aesthetic of it, but it is what it is. Yeah, let's just do a pipe that punches down. And sure, let's go through the center here. So we're going to need a floor hole. Like that. We have our resource well here. Let's grab one of these. Down to here. And I'm still on straight, right? Yeah, straight don't like that. But we can go like that. Pipe too long, so we have to go and put one there. Okay, and all the way back. Okay. Now, joining into, or getting these guys to all connect up, I think what I'll do is we'll put a bit of pipe going this way, because then we can grab a T-junction, or pipeline junction, which will connect. Actually, maybe what I should do is not it that way, is use the grid and lift this guy up. There we go, because now it's just snapped, and why not snap it if you can? That way we can go like that. We can then plug you guy in. Let's check our different modes here, what'll give me a good result. Absolutely none of them. What about if I do straight? No, straight doesn't like that. Horizontal, yeah. I guess we'll just do curve. A little bit of a trippy section there. Okay. At least for now, if I need to move things, I'll move things. Okay, so that gives me 120 gas now flowing into the pipe. You can see that the pipe is indeed filling. I've already picked that one. Anything else I need to do over here? No. Okay, so that's all good. Why do I feel like there's something over there that I'm not, that I should be grabbing? Where's my scanner? Where's my scanner? I want my scanner. There you are. Nope, no hard drives. What is near me? Enemies. Not really. Paleberry? Yeah, there's some paleberry. There's no Mercer spheres. There's some mushrooms down there. There's some slugs, some barrel nuts. Yeah, okay. No, I'm just being weirdly paranoid that I'm missing something. Okay. Oh yeah, I do need Close. All right, we can come back down here now. We need to find a way into the building. Here we go. I'm gonna turn my flashlight on so I can see what the heck it is that I'm doing. Okay. All right, let's get some walls up, like so. Back down. Grab our pipe. That is not a pipe. That is a pipe. And we can switch modes again to see which one will do what we want it to do. And the answer to that question is absolutely not a one of them. They're all going to do weird shit. Okay, that's fine. You do your weird shit. I'll do whatever I need to do to not have weird shit. What if I go to straight mode? Can I get anything to cooperate with straight mode? Of course not. Straight mode on pipes seems to be not quite as useful as it is in other things. All right. Whatever gives me clean lines. That's all I want, man. I just want some clean lines. That gives me clean lines. That gives me clean lines. Yeah. Okay. And then if I just kind of unlock you, lock you to that wall, I should be able to just snooch you over. I don't know what word snooch is, but it seemed appropriate at the time. And then we'll go up so I can have a nice clean yeah, I guess noodle. Yeah, I guess that's probably as clean as I can make it. All right, and then down to there. Pressurizing. And it should be filling. Yep, and there we go. And the nice thing about gases is that it requires no additional, like there's no pressure regulation that really needed. There's no pumps. Like, yeah, I'm coming downhill, which would be, kind of an ideal situation because then I don't need to use any kind of pump. Don't have to worry about head lift. The nice thing is, or the neat thing about the gas is that there is no head lift. I could go in the opposite direction just as easily as I'm going down. I can go up with no pressure loss. So if you didn't know that about gas in a Space Engineer or Satisfactory, that is kind of how that works. You can use pumps, and I found that sometimes if the flow rate, like it's not, because it's not, doesn't have the same pressure backing it as the fluid does. Like they'll go up, but I find that their kind of volume pressure isn't as strong as it is with liquids. So I will sometimes use pumps with gases just for that little extra kind of kick. Okay, so I just want a bit of an overhang here on this section. So I'm just, again, using my nudge and using the power of clipping to kind of bring a little bit of an overhang like that. Yeah, that's fine. I'll just leave it like that. That's cool. Just so I don't have a perfectly straight edge there. It's going to be bad enough with all of the other flat edges. So just little kind of ways that I can not have giant boxes. All right, I'm going to turn off soup here so I can just get these guys into place. Of course, going to need one. No, I don't need one for there. But I'm gonna need there, gonna need there, gonna need there, and I'm gonna need there. Okay, what walls will now fit? Not one of these, so we'll just go boop, 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 boopity, boopity, boopity. I can turn zoop back on, boopity, boopity, boop. Yeah, okay, down on the bottom here, I want to keep that wall nice and clean, so just like that. Let's go look for our pillars. So we got the big little pillars here, which I want, let's say you're down by 4 there. You do it from down here. Yeah, we'll do it from down here, so we'll go boop to the ground. We'll skip to the other end here. Boop. Come on. Give it to me straight, Doc. Down to there, yes. And hello to you, those of you who are enjoying your Saturday mornings. You got your coffees or teas, you got your favorite beverage, you got yourself a nice pastry, I hope, and I hope you're having a great Saturday morning. I'm having a good one. You know, I get to spend some time with you guys, playing Satisfactory, being a little bit silly, and being a little bit swirled by factories and factory walls. All right, there we go, and come on, get on the end there. Yeah, sure, something like that will work just fine. We could even go like that and hit H, and we can nudge you back along like that and not hit that button. Beautiful! Lovely, lovely, lovely. I can see the zigzag there. I don't want to see the zigzag, so let's do that. And what that does actually is kind of helps that little kind of way that pattern thick to our solid or peg to glass goes. All right. I think, except for some final kind of decorating, which we can do just quick and easy. Yeah, do a little something, something there. We can come around to the other side here. We can grab you. You'll go down like that. You'll go skip a couple down to there. And then wherever this, from here all the way back down. Yeah, not really a great place to put glass. So we will not. We will just close this off. Just like that. Then we can grab some windows. Connect them up. Like that. Go up to there and bring that back down to there. There is a foliage. There's a tree down here that is getting under my skin, so we'll just... Yep, there you go. Stay out of my foundations. Okay, it is very, very dark in here, so we're going to need some signages. I'm just going to grab a large billboard, and we'll kind of run it down. Right down here. We're going to put that guy there. Hopefully, no, he is not in the correct location. Let's try that again. So we're going to hit H so we hold its position. Yes, that is exactly much better. Okay, so we're going to make a copy, or we're going to edit this guy here. So we'll use the Pioneer Coverall color, Pioneer Overall color, Pioneer Overall color, select the color, gives us a nice warm kind of light. We need the none icon. Yes, there is a icon called none. See, right there, none. It's not, yeah, it is literally a blank picture, but that it is. Okay, we can turn that on. We'll hit glossy, and then we now have our light panel. The one other thing I want to do is, again, in the video description, you will find this little tiny bit of code. I'm going to use my notepad one, because I'm just going to copy, hit the tilde key, paste in that line. Once again, you will find that in the description. And what that does is it just kind of makes the lumens work a little bit better. I need a bit of wall bit right about here. And we are going to need to do a 1 meter piece there. And a 1 meter angled right there. All right, now that I got the one sign in, I can just sample it and put some more in. I'm gonna need some light of my headlight here. So we can now line this fella up right there. We'll skip another one. We'll get this guy lined up. I have to do some nudging. Sorry, just knocked my microphone there if you all got a big clunk. How's that spacing? That spacing is not even close. Okay. Right to there. Perfect. Okay, that gives me enough light in here. And again, really love using the panels as lights. Not sure which one is better performance calculation, because the spots calculate shadows. They also have a very limited thing, whereas these guys are just kind of a fall-off light. So they kind of cast light everywhere, and they don't really calculate shadows per se. I think they're more... Pardon me. I didn't hit the mute in time. Yeah, anyway. Okay, so I think that a little bit of cleanup here on aisle 4, like that, and then we can put some of these in. Stop turning around like that. Let's grab some more beams, and we can stretch a beam across the opening here, like that, or pillar, and then we go like that, and then we go like that. All right, that is nitrogen ready for gathering. Excellent. That went about as well as I'd hoped. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is just kind of move way down the track here. I'm going to put in some more block signals. So we're going to put one right there. We'll have another one right there. So yeah, looking at the color there, you can see kind of how long they are. It's not great track. It is really not great track. I don't know how well the train is going to run. Kind of coming up here. But it is because of the terrain is just not making it super easy to kind of have a nice smooth transition. I probably could have if I planned it out better. I didn't, so it isn't. Okay. One more there, one more there. And I think that should be good. Now, what is your guys' problem? Who the hell knows? I think it's... No, why are you guys problems? Let's take those guys out for a quick sec. Let's flip them around. Okay. And then flip you around. Okay, yeah, I don't know what was your guys' problems were. I think you were just... Yeah, you were just. Okay, good. So that means we got our trains moving down. I'm going to grab a electric locomotive. And I just want to kind of check the track here. So let's make sure we're going that way and run up the hill. Mostly I want to see how well the train does with that steep section there. Because there is a limit to how much they can climb. Now, fortunately, it's always going to be coming. Yeah, I didn't even blink about it, empty. It is always going to be coming here, hopefully more or less empty. There is more. I need 70. I'm reducing 120, so it will overflow at some point. Whoops. Let's go around one more time. We'll take the station route here. Make sure that nothing clips through. Nope, nice and clean. We can come on out. We're going to hang her right this time. And then we're going to catch some gravity here. No sudden stops in anywhere. It means the tracks are all connected, which is good. This is loud. It is very loud riding in the train. I'm stopped riding in the train. Okay, you can hit the brake. Wow, you just keep going if I jump out while you're still running. What? Oh, brakes, damn you. Okay, that kind of ran away from me a lot further than I wanted it to, but oh well. Okay, so that is everything at this end. I think we're all good here. So we can head back now to the I gotta come up with a better name for that. Let's head back to Reno. Biggest little city in the desert. It's a sort of desert, which is, Reno's in a sort of desert. It's not like Vegas, which is out in the middle of the desert. Reno is a little bit more nicer. I should probably... Sorry, I'm just looking at this little sign structure here, and it just feels like it needs something underneath it here. Sorry, another tickle in my throat. And I think we could maybe just grab a big old concrete pillar here. Drop that down to the ground. Drop that down to the ground. Wall stuff. So I want my little 1 meter guy there. I just want to kind of clean up these edges a little bit. Sure, I turned off my zoop again. So there we go. It just makes a nice, much cleaner edge. Like that. One of these days, I am going to have to finish putting the wall bits up. But apparently it is not today. Which is fine. And then we can come across like that. And grab these and there. Completely and utterly squirrel. Yeah. And just for a little bit more fascia, what I'm going to do here is grab some beams and we'll just go up the center. And up each side, I think. Like that. And across. By the way, I haven't said it today. ADHD Satisfactory! Okay, there we go. Distraction over. Moving on. That's better. Not great. Not necessarily good, but better. Okay, back to Zarino. Don't think that name's gonna stick, but it is what it is. Yeah, anyway, we're heading back to the desert city. Probably need a probably need a radar antenna somewhere in that region, which means ADHD Satisfactory, because I'm turning around. I'm heading back. Oh, yeah, little other thing that I did over the course of the week is I was checking on production here. So yeah, everything's being good. Supercomputers here, remote radio control units. I was actually even getting a backlog at the factory up there. But one of the things I noticed is that in all of the wonderful production, I was burning through Caterium like a son of a bitch. Now, I could have easily added myself. I'd have more than enough back in the kind of area over there where we're bringing in the quartz and whatnot. I could easily have added myself another station here, either dedicated it to the Caterium or added another car. But I have a pure node just sitting right there, so I thought, you know what the hell, let's just bring that in at first. And if we have a look here, you can see that, yeah, it's actually pulling 600. It's doing its job here. Let's take I'm not using nearly enough of these yet. Let's grab one of our throughput counters here and put that right there and let that calibrate. Yeah, don't use enough of this which is weird because I used to use a mod that gave me basically the same idea. Okay, so it is calibrating. So about 400 is getting used out of this 600. So still a little bit more to go for quick wire. I just saw this. I do not like what is happening here. I do not like that it is poking its bloody head through my roof. So we are going to fix that right effing now. Satisfactory, ADHD Satisfactory. Okay, and then we can go into there. All right, let's grab our roof pieces again. And that's a 1 meter. There we go. We'll do the same thing there. Have a nice little overlap. And yeah, I didn't use a glass roof this time. And honestly, I think that's better. Okay, cool. All right, so we do need to bring the nitrogen over to this side, which means we are going to need to extend that away with our foundations, which is not a problem. We got our track ready to go here, so let's just grab some track, and we can grab that and pull that out to there. So the train's going to come in here. Yeah, not as easy to add. See, this, yeah. I kind of did this. I should have had these guys all flipped around so that they kind of wrap around. But the problem is that I'd have to, yeah, there's just no, I would have had a, yeah. So to expand the Caterium, I will have to actually put a separate Caterium in here. Just because it would have been a bigger pain in the ass to have the trains kind of wrap themselves all the way around. Because then I'm guessing at how far that way I need to go. Now I could run a track in, but yeah, there's just no good winning here for the spacing, except for having the trains kind of go that direction. All right, so what I'm doing here is I'm just looking at where I'm all lined up on my foundations. So that guy goes to there. So I know how much further I need to extend this out, which is quite a bit. So we'll get these guys extended. And I shouldn't have to worry about the terrain here, because remember when we spent about that's what all this is about, is we spent all that time making sure that we are going to clear kind of any high spots along here. I do have a bit of an issue with some of the fauna, but it's a very small issue and easily remedied. I know I could take them. What are they? They give me a resource. I think it's mycella. If I grab my chainsaw, or is it wood? A little bit of wood, a little bit of mycella, a little bit of leaves. Yeah, so it is mycelia that I'm, you know, leaving on the table, but that's fine. And I don't know if you guys have seen, those of you who play, we have new animations for our trees. They actually fall. And then they fall apart, which is kind of cool. They all kind of have their own little animation here. So if we go cut this guy, what does this guy look like? Okay, they took the easy way on that one. It looks like nothing. They were like, yeah, no, we're not doing that one. Okay, let's put the chainsaw away. So I'm not sure how much nitrogen I'm going to need down here. So what I'm going to do is we'll put in one of these. We'll again just put in a empty platform. Just so there's something there and the spacing is all correct. We can extend this guy out now. We get all our zoopies. There's our zoopies. Yay for zoopies. Okay. Then, where are we coming out to? We bring out our track to here. And then we make our lovely little turn to right here. And there we go. God, working with track is so much easier now. I'm going to need another pass signal. That can go there. So that is now cleaned up. That pass signal, we're going to need a block signal. And we'll go right on this side here, just to keep it consistent. So just like that. So train will make its delivery. He'll pop his little noggin out this way. Words are hard. And we can get some pass signals or block signals in. So we'll put... Yeah, so I'm just kind of coming back a little bit from the interchange. So we can go to right there. And right at the exit of the station. Okay, Western Desert. So, Western Desert. Nitrogen receiving. Just like that. Alright, and you are ready for your train. We set you to unload like so. And that's got our nitrogen gas in. Alright, I want to have a quick boo here at my aluminum. How are you guys doing out? So I'm getting lots of LCAT sheets. Am I not delivering any? I'm not even, I don't think I'm using these yet. So I think what I need to do is put in the door that needs to be here. We'll get this facade, or fascia, or whatever you want to call it.
Oh, my throat is just not having fun this morning. Completed all the way across down the whole range here. Oh my goodness. But until I know how long I need to make it, I'm kind of holding off on that. But what I can do is just kind of keep pushing and moving these guys down. And right about here. Like so, and across. Hold down your control key, allows you to kind of a little bit more freely position. Does that feel wrong? Center line, center line, center line. Nope, that's all good. 1, 2. That's there's a little bit of overlap there. Sorry, again, just making sure that I'm keeping everything equal. And we're going to come to there, and then we're just going to go boop, boop, like that. And everything's good there. Whoops. Why did you not work? I don't know, but we're going to try that again. There we go. That's better. Okay, that's good. How is this? This goes down to there. That goes down to there. That goes up to there. This stretches across. You know what's hilarious is I'm the one who put this stuff up here, but no memory of doing it. What did I do over here? I don't know. Okay, let's move this over by a little bit. And nope, right to there. There we go. And then we could do like that and come up that way. And there we go. Okay. And that is the next facade. Why are you sticking through my floor? You bastard. Go away. Thank you. And there we go. Yeah, you can stay for now. All right, that has got that done, which means we are going to be putting up a new building. After I check my aluminum, I do want to have a quick trip over to there because I want to see if I'm making enough casings. Because if we have a quick boo at the recipe here, so we'll bring that back out. We need 150 of these. Yeah, that's not a problem. This, honestly, yeah, it's a bit. This is a bit concerning. Like I'm really starting to kind of get close to the limits of what I got going on in the back there, but I think I still have enough. Yeah, these things just take up so much material. Yeah, do I use... See, I'm wondering if I'm using the right recipe. Okay, so it's 4.4 for the steel screws. Let's do a little bit of kind of alternate mathing here. If I use the cast screws, so we'll delete that node. I can delete that node as well. Like, just to get enough for up here is going to require 7.5 machines. If now I'm up to 15 machines, and now I'm up to 23 machines. So, yeah, going the iron route, not a great plan. So I am going to have to go the steel route with the steel screws here. As you can see, it gives me much better value. Whoop, you need to come over there, and then we need to make a steel beam node. So it takes up a lot less real estate using the steel screws as opposed to using the iron screws, but it does mean I'm going to need a bunch more ingots. 4.23 machines worth of ingots, and I think I still have enough overhead on the other side, but I am going to have to double check that. So yeah, that's kind of what phase we're at now, is just to make sure. Iron, not a problem. Not only can I bring the iron in by rail from the kind of plains or whatever quartz area over there, but I got 3 iron nodes like sitting right here. So if we have a look here, we can see we've got a normal node, we've got a normal node, and we've got 3 normal nodes right there. I actually have a copper node not that far away. These guys, no, they're underground. They are not. Can you go? Oh, thank you. We have normal, normal, normal there. Pure just around the corner, which is, I think, just over here. So if we do a quick scan here, yeah, those 3. And those the other ones. So they're just over on the other side there, easily within reach. In fact, if I was to, maybe that's what I'll do, is I'm going to stretch, instead of going that way, I think I'm going to take the buildings and go that way, because that gives me full access to that iron up there. However, that being said, did I? Oops, I accidentally closed it. I didn't mean to do that. Let me just quickly open that up again. There we go. Yeah, so what's the most I can get out of a normal? Is it worth it for me to go to the pure? Pure, I could do 600 easily. That's 240. I'll take a couple of power crystals. But either or. But yeah, I'm going to do the build next. I did it again. Stop closing the stupid software. Sorry, I'm just going to launch it again. There it is. Don't hit that. Just hit that. There we go. Yeah, so I think I'll do the pressure frame building going that way, because it's kind of more of a support thing. So yeah, all right. First things first, though, I want to take a run over to the aluminum. So we'll drop down to here. I'm gonna remove these because they really aren't doing me any benefit anymore. You know, I'm just kind of making things feel a little bit more crowded. I do need to keep this power line stretched across here. So we'll keep that connected to there just because, you know, all it's doing is lighting these guys for my blueprint station here. We can get rid of this. And then we can do the same thing here. I'm just going to get rid of these. I'm not going to have a hypertube that goes just across the tracks. That would be silly. Maybe turn on my flashlight so I can see what I'm doing. Okay, let's just get rid of that. And no, I can't just hit select blueprint because it's combined into the blueprint. Yes, I used the blueprint to place these little elevated stands, but they very quickly became part of said blueprint. Pardon me again. Okay, I'm going to need to replace that wire stretching across. That should be okay. And there we go. I don't know where else you're going. You're going there, you're going there. Okay, everyone's going there. Everyone's doing their thing. That's fine. We can now get rid of this and get rid of that. So yeah, just kind of cleaning up my landing spot. So these two are active, but these guys would never will be. So we can now take a run back to the aluminum. So we're gonna run through here. We can take a little quick look at what's happening at the steel. Make sure we've got lots of ingots. I did have a boo at it over the week because I noticed that was going to be a little bit problematic. But see, that's barely keeping up. It's going to be a little bit, but here's the thing, is that there is underneath here, I still have a fully untapped coal node right there. So I can very easily increase the production here. So I can increase how much coal I'm producing there, plus I can increase the amount of coal I'm producing here. And I got more than enough room back here to build more steel. I've only got the single iron node here, but this iron node very easily can be doubled up in production. So I can very much increase how many ingots that I'm making. So we can easily put another iron processing in, another coal ingot processing, and Bob's your uncle, and Fanny is your aunt. All right, a couple of more of these little wall hole sections here that need to be added in. So we can just, whoops, there we go. We'll put that one there, and then we can squeeze that one in right there. Not really part of it, but just kind of gives it visual cover. Okay, so steel ingots is going to require some work. Oh, you can see the signaling system working out over there. Yeah, get a move on, please, and thank you. Again, how well are you keeping up? You are just keeping up. And then you go do your thing. There you go. Okay. Let's hit back into the line. And we can run up to the top here. I do like my hypertube network. I really do have to say. Years and years and years not really utilizing them that much, but yeah, they've now made just enough slight improvements that it actually makes it worthwhile. So everything over here is doing their work. So if we pop into not the modular frame building, I'm thinking is this one of the ones we were just working on? Yeah, so you're doing steel pipe. What are you doing? You're doing my EM rods. So, yep, you're working away. We run over here. What are you guys doing over here? So your magnetic field generators, you are working at capacity, which is good. Yep, everyone is, close enough. What are you? Assembly director, yep, you're doing what you need to do. So you can see my adaptive control units and supercomputer lines are full. What's going on over here? And the versatile framework. Yeah, a little bit starved here. Yeah, this is where I'm starting to get concerned. You can see that I'm not quite keeping up with the steel ingots anymore. So I think I really do. Yeah, you're just not. Why aren't you draining fast enough? Do I just need to get you to drain faster? Yeah, so you're a Mark IV. Let's start doing some upgrades here. I know, ADHD Satisfactory. And I even forgot to sing it. ADHD Satisfactory. Okay, that's better. Okay, so we're gonna get Mark V. Let's get some Mark V belts. Just because I don't think it's draining quite fast enough, and I think that's where my problem is we just need to move the material a little bit faster, like through there. Let's send it upstairs a little faster. That doesn't matter. And there we go. Okay, how did that affect production? Let's maybe fill the holes in the floors. Oh yeah, this used to be a giant hole in the floor until I actually recently filled it in. Okay, let's go back to that, wherever the hell I was. I was right over here with the versatile framework we're being manufactured. Okay, you're better. How you doing now? Yeah, see, there you go. There, you got it now, boyo. Now you're rocking and rolling. Okay, good. So yeah, those guys are doing their thing. Everything is fine over there. Let's head to the aluminum, which means we need to use this away. We want to go to the south. I think there is, yeah, at the top there, I'm going to have to change lines because it will do me a split. And right now it's going to always take me on the left line. I want to turn right, and we're coming up on it here very rapidly. And turn right, there you go, so you can see the little indicators there very briefly. Okay, and away we go. Got a nice bit of movement going through here. And we'll take a little quick detour right through here. So, you know, again, resources that are still available. I still got lots of coal over there if we have a quick look here. Yeah, you can see I've got coal over there. I even got some sand ore here. I haven't touched that oil yet. And there is, of course, is a geyser and sulfur right there. So if I need sulfur, it ain't that. Where is that sulfur? I believe I can fly. There it is. Right there. Okay, so not too hard to get to. Sulfuric acid. What else do I need? The batteries, but I don't know how many batteries I'm going to be making, if at all. Because I'm currently using packaged fuel for my drones. Oh, that's a bit of a slow pull. But we get there. All right, this is another case of maybe... Maybe I should make sure I'm hitting the right buttons of getting rid of this stuff here. Because it's not doing me any good. So we can pull these guys out. And as you can see, the power from the pole is flowing all into the blueprint, so these things no longer have a point, so we will have to connect across to there, but that's all right. Okay, aluminum casing. That's depot. So you're full, and you are not. Ooh. Where are you all going? Where are you all going? Home aluminum and then the Western Desert aluminum. Oi! Yeah, so I do not have enough aluminum casing. Like, at all. All right, what is it going to take to get more aluminum casing in here? It means we need to start tapping into other bauxites. How is this? Is this actually... Yeah, so that one is flowing. What are you? Yeah, you're doing your 600 and you're just keeping up, so we can't count on you. What else do we have? Bauxite that is relatively accessible, because this is a pure node. That's a normal. That's a normal. That's an impure. You're up here, way the hell over here. Now again, none of this is, which way do I go? What do I do now? It's all been kind of, accounted for more or less. It's just which way do I want to go? Do I want to go to... There you go. Oh, those guys are the exact. So we got one there. We got an impure there. I got a normal there. But way down here, that would be right here. So I got two pures. That's a normal. I don't care about that one. But I got a pure just right over there. Can I get a report back, please? Yes, I know you're right there. So it's a bit of a distance, but yeah, So trains come in here, they go underneath. Where the hell are you? Because then you go around like that, and then you can go out. Or you go that way. I have an extra station here doing nothing. It's doing absolutely nothing here. What are you doing? Are you delivering? What are you delivering over here? So yeah, you're receiving the copper ore. Should probably change that. That was rude. So I think you're set up for receiving bauxite, which is just that way. And I think that's kind of why I put you off to the side like that. Yeah, track comes back that way. Track goes that way. Oh, it is going to be a dedicated track. See, I can grab all these guys that way. Yeah, sorry, and I am trying to just figure out which way I want to go next and how it's going to work within the current kind of infrastructure. And I think we can pull this line going this way. Yeah, that can't be nudged, but that's fine. Because we're going to go like that, and I'm actually going to hold the corner so I don't get any kind of little wibbles. So we're going to go like that. Yeah, so you can go that way and then head off in that direction. I'm going to have to go put a marker, I think, over there. I'll do that in the map right now. So let's put a marker. That's the pure one. That's a pure one. That's a normal one. I think I want to tap into this pure one here. So we're going to grab a marker. And we'll just kind of drop you right there. And I'm going to highlight it. Ah, perfect. Look at that. Ooh, it's actually even in the right direction. Excellent. It's a journey, but, doing tracks now is pretty freaking simple. So all I need to do is come out like here. This is awkward as F right here. But you know what? I can make this work. So we'll come to here. Besides, you gotta have a little bit of a fun adventure. Yeah, that way. Can I make that tighter? No. How tight can I go? Yeah, I'm thinking that's probably, yeah. Which is alright because there's already a block signal there. Okay, so then that's going to go that way. Pardon me. So, train is going to leave here. It's going to go along here. It's going to join up with the track. It's going to go all the way around the circle. It is going to hit this line here. It is going to go straight. It'll duck underneath here. Come up through here. And off it goes. Now, if any train is coming from down there, because this is just now bauxite receiving, it can either go that way, or if it's an empty train heading off in that direction where the two pures and the normal are, it can go off in that direction. And then when it comes back along that line, joins up, and it's good to go. And it will always be dropping off here because it is delivering bauxite. That is, this ramp is now a dedicated bauxite. There's a purple slug down there. Let's go grab the purple slug. There's radiation, but you know what? We're good. We can just grab that guy and float up out of the way. So, yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do here. Okay. So that means we need to start running a new section of track. So that'll be, I think, kind of where we end up today, is just working our way there. So, yay, track building! Which, like I said, is pretty straightforward. Okay, I'm just going to switch, make sure we're in the auto connect. We get our nice little, chain links there. So I can connect you, and we can either go freehand. Oop, I ran out of juice. There we go. So we can go freehand. Don't mind the red. Or I could just come out straight. Can you do some snapping for me? Come on, snap into place. There. There we go. Okay, or you can just go straight out. Which might not be a bad idea right here. Okay, that's fine. We can connect. We can grab one of you like that. Yeah, I guess this is the way we can do this. Need to get power. Which, without making a big ass mess, I'm going to do a little bit of clean corner here. So to make a clean corner, I'm just going to go like that. Grab one of these, use my nudge buttons to get corner into place. Like that. We'll do the same thing on this side. We'll use our nudge buttons. Like that. Like that. And then I can use a half foundation. No, I can't. I actually have to use a full foundation there. Okay, that's fine. just so we have a little bit of a clean corner here. And then what I'm going to do here is, oops, get into my blueprints, and I want my light stand. Like so. We'll put you there. Nudge you around a little bit and put you there. We'll what can we get away with? Oh, close. We can get it pretty close, like right there. Yep, just like that. That's good. For here, and just to keep things nice and neat and pretty, grab a painted beam, and we'll send you packing all the way to there. Even though the beam does not stretch, if you look at the thing that you're looking at in freeform, it will still kind of draw the beam in that line. So you can see if I look there where it's snapping, but as I kind of look along the edge there, how that beam is changing its direction. So I can say I want you to go to that corner there, and I know it's going to be in that corner. And then with the nudge, I can just position it where I want it to be, like right there. At the other end here, again, we'll do the same thing. And like that, we can now get rid of the beam. Because now, whoops, we can soup you to there, and then change you up for a half foundation. Like that. Yeah, that'll work. Okay. Reason I did that is so I can now grab my light. And we're going to try and get you up on the top here. Yes, we can. Move you down. Thusly. Put another one right about here. Get some wire ran. And I ran so far away. Couldn't get away. Is your height okay? I'm not sure. I want to make sure. Yes, you can see it is just on a Mark II pipe. But if I grab a Mark III, I should be able to get away with this. And get away with it means getting the wire to cross the track without clipping the choo-choo. No one wants a clipped choo-choo. So if I do that, upgrade the pole, now when I grab my choo-choo, lots of room. Perfect. Gonna need a entrance. Gonna need some power, which we'll put right there. And there we go. Ready to run some track. Across the bamboo forest. Full of all the nasty... That's basically the Australia of the map. It's where all the nastiest critters are. Okay. Going that away. That's a bit of a journey over that way. You can see this is why I did the update there, so it is snapping to all of my lovely connections there. I need to get past here. So if we move you out. Yes, I know you are clipping the rock there, but that is okay. Because we can just swing you out so you miss the rock. And I'm just going to push a little bit further along the line here. I mean, it is still, the power line is still now the short thing. So if everything's a little bit too long, I can come back a bit. Hopefully that will catch the power wire. And now we are sliding through that rock, so we'll just kind of move you over a bit. Like that. Okay. Power lines. We have to come across here. We'll put a power line right there. And we'll come to here. Connect to there. None of you guys look like you're connected. That's because we need to go to there. Okay. You're still not connected. Why? What connection am I missing? This one. Goes to there. That's got to go to there. And where are you pulling your power? Way the hell over there. Nope, 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 nope. Nope, not like that. We're gonna go like this. We're gonna reach across to the building like that. No, we're not. We're gonna do that. Because we are going to do that, which can go now up to there and back to there. Everyone powered, everyone is happy. Yes. Okay, so now I want to make sure that we're not flying through the middle of freaking trees here like this. Really? Can we shrink our blast radius? Yeah, I heard that. Okay, it may be dense enough that yeah, I hear you down there. I know you're down there. I'm just gonna make sure I can see where you are. Where are you? I hear ya. I mean, he's trying to jump up to me. Did I get him? Done enough. I feel he's still around here. There's a yellow slug over there. And some bugs. We'll get rid of that first. Reload, and I can just zip over here and claim my slug. Like so. There we go. Okay. Apparently I missed one. Oh, it's underneath the cave there. Okay. I must have got Mr. Spiderface. Because I don't hear him anymore. Okay, well, whatever. He ain't bothering me. I ain't gonna bother him. We need to carry on now. what I want to see is if I can connect the power without affecting or clipping, because I don't like it when the power lines clip through things, and I can. If I go to there, how does that? Is that clearing? It does. So we can do that to kind of do that little transmission. Lovely. Purple slug over there. Not sure why I, had to make sure I mentioned that, but there is a purple slug over there. Okay, this one we are going to do freehand because I want to deke around a little bit. So what we can do is kind of stretch that out, and then we'll just kind of eyeball it for height. And again, it doesn't need to be perfect. We can have a little up, we can have a little bit of down. Something like that. With a little bit of curvature. Yeah, I think that'll work. And then we can check how our power line's gonna do. And I think I think I might need to put, yeah, I don't like the way that's cutting the corner. So we will do one of these. So we put that guy there, and we can, no. You go there, thank you. Then we grab a foundation, we go across by 3. We then come back up. And apparently I went by 4. That's all right. We come down to there. We then can grab one of these and we can attach you to the ground. We can put you to there. I'm going to take this out because I am going to put one of these right there. And then we can grab our power line. Now, of course, for whatever reason, it wants to go into one of those little guys, so we're just going to kind of boop, 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 boop. Love the vertical nudge. Love the vertical nudge. Love the vertical, love the vertical, love the vertical nudge. And let's go with curves. So we have some nice, gentle curves. There we go. That's the next one. Now, the irony is that we are passing very close to a uranium. It is down there somewhere. Oh, it's actually behind us. Okay, no, it's in, yeah, it's down around somewhere. I don't know, maybe over there. The irony is we're actually heading towards our Western oil, and what we built today, the nitrogen should be just, yeah, we're actually closer to the nitrogen at this point. Oh, that's water. No. There's my nitrogen, but yeah, you can see how close we are getting back to our nitrogen, weirdly enough. All right. Where were we? We were running some more trains. You know, the most exciting thing. But this is such a I really can't tell you how much of an improvement it is laying the track here. Where, you son of a bitch. There you are. You think you're gonna throw rocks at me? Come back here. No, you don't get to walk away. Or you can completely vanish. Did I kill him? Well, that's just a little baby one. Okay, anyway. Oh. Who's hunting me? Besides this, the squirrels in my brain. Oh, there he is. He's back. Here, have one of these. Ow. Have another one of these. Would you like another one? Here, let's try a third one. Ow. And then we go, boom! Ooh, the little guy flew. And I think that should have killed him. Yeah, left him on his feet, too. Yeah, little guy went flying that way. You could have just left me alone. You didn't have to shoot your little rocks at me, you dead-eyed bastard. 100 men went into the water. 5 came out. Dead eyes like dolls. I don't know. Joss is gonna need a bigger boat. Anyway, jeez, I don't know. All right, let's put you into place. Do we freehand you or do we just go straight? I don't know. I didn't hit the H. There we go. Are we gonna freehand you? No, we are just gonna go straight with you. So we pushy, 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 pushy. And we get right about there. I want to leave a little bit of maneuvering space because we're going to have to kind of weave our way through the, I don't know, ribs or whatever the hell they are. Maybe a little bit further. How far can we go? How far can we go? Ooh, it turned blue. We're still going. Do I want to go this far? No, I don't think I want to go this far. Because we are getting close to that rib. Running out of power. Get me juice. Get me juice. Let's say it about there. Grab a power line. I'll grab from this side here and run you out to there. And we are going to take another quick break. It's been a bit, and well, you know, nature calls. So I will be right back. All right, I'm back. And as I come back and sit back at my desk and kind of look at what all my little various monitors and things that are watching, there's something that's really interesting that I'm seeing. So YouTube Studio, the thing that, of course, we all upload and that I'm streaming to, it's receiving signal from OBS software, which is my, screen capture software here. But it's still back when I hadn't even left. Like, this is when we're working and doing our counts. Like, I just put in the station. So, way to stay caught up, you dirty bastard.
Meanwhile, what you're actually seeing is, only about 5 or so seconds behind. But yeah, everything else. Oh yeah, bae. Okay, drop down here. Let's get that down to the ground. When was my last boost for speed? That was way the hell back there, so we could probably use a little bit of a speed boost here. Gonna need to do... Actually, you know what? Let's change this one out. Uh-oh. No, I'm going down. There we go. Let's actually change this one out for one of these. Because the nice thing is that I should just be able to hit this on top of the pillar there. And if I rotate it around 90 degrees, there we go. Just like that. We can connect our wire to there. So we've got our speed booster. We are going to have to get past this. This is actually a little bit too far forward. But it is what it is. Okay, so let's clear some of the underbrush here. Oh, there's a slug hiding over there. There we go. Let's get that out. There we go. Okay, so we are going to do just a little bit of a jog here. We're going to snap to there. We are going to use our nudge. We're going to just kind of keep going through. We'll see how well we sneak through here, which is not very. And come down a little bit. How do I want to get through here? This isn't going to work. No, that's not going to work. What I'm going to have to do is be a little more clever with how I'm doing this. No, that's going to be right through the center. So what if I come over like this way? Like that? And yeah, then we can get rid of these guys here. Ah, falling. Ow. Can I have some electricity? Thank you. Because, this is just a littlest, tiniest bit of a weird kind of slide over, which is, fine for the track. With the curve functionality on the hypertube, that is going to be fine as well, but it's not going to work for the power line, so I am going to have to do this again. Which fortunately is a pretty quick and easy setup. Because all I have to do is that. Who, by the way, was stalking me? I know one of you was down there. Down to the ground, like that. Put that there. And now we can grab one of these. Yeah, a lot of very repetitive action in this game, isn't it? Okay. Nope, I want to go up the side of the pillar here like that, so we can go up to there. And then we can stretch you through. Like that. And there is a reason I'm doing this.
is because otherwise the wire is going to cut through that tube. So I need to get the wire to the other side. I don't care about wire clipping through things like that. I just don't want to visually see my face go through a wire. And this way I can avoid all of that just by doing this. And I have been meaning to update the blueprint for a while to make sure that, there's posts on either side. I just never got around to doing it. But anyway, there we go. Now we're out here. And now we can get rid of this pillar. And just right over here, like I had meant to do that all along. Okay, can we sneak through now? Probably not. So I am going to remove that. I'm going to remove this guy. I'm going to give you... Oh, no. Okay, how am I going to do... Okay, what I want to do here is I'm going to add a little bit of curve, but I don't want to lose the positioning here. So, if I go like that, and then I can use this guy to kind of give me a new bit of directioning. Like that. Get rid of that. That can come up to the bottom. Let's actually get rid of all of this stuff here. I know I could easily freehand it here, and I probably would be better off just kind of visually doing it, but I don't know. I'm kind of here. I want to see if I can get this to work. So now I can grab not that, but this. Yeah, see, that snaps there nicely. I am going to have to get rid of this stuff. Probably... Oh, no, I'm falling. There we go. I probably don't actually even need this anymore, but we'll see. Because, again, I just want to... Oops, no, turn on the caps lock. I just want you to go right there. You know what? We're going to leave. No, we're not. We're going to totally take all of this out now. I know, it seems like what a freaking waste of time that was. But if you're not prepared to do this in Satisfactory, you are not going to have a relaxing time. There we go. See, now that looks just a little bit nicer. And I don't even think... Yeah, I can actually probably just cut the corner here nicely now without doing anything else fancy. I will do this little setup here and then send it to over here. Like that, and then I can connect up to there. Get rid of this. All right, there we go. That's better. A little bit cleaner, a little bit nicer. And looks like I got a pretty good shot right through that arch there. I, of course, have got a bunch of flora in my way. So we'll get rid of that. Yeah, that got rid of all that. And then we can go over there and clear out some more of it. And yeah, that's basically what the next little while is going to be, is this stretching our tracks out as we head probably a couple of good kilometer and a half off in that direction there. It'd be nice if this went a little faster. So I'm just holding down the arrow key to push it. Like if it had a ramp up speed, that would be nice. Okay, don't go too far. Do a little bit of a lift here. And maybe even come back a little tiny bit like that. We'll do a proper direction change when we get to that arch. In fact, I'm going to keep this track straight and just do that. Okay. Let's grab some power lines. We'll connect from there to there. Wire is too long, you bastard. See what I mean? You got to be a little bit careful. You know, we can just put another little one of those in there. Okay. You know what? This is going to take me a while, and I don't think you guys want to hang around for the fun of putting up tracks and taking down tracks and putting up tracks and taking down tracks, putting up tracks and taking down tracks. You know, my usual play here. So what I'm going to do is I didn't mean to go up. I will keep running my track here. I'm going to get tapped into that bauxite and kind of just have the station and everything so that we are filling up the station here. But for next week, then we can start setting up like our expansion. So we are going to need to expand, which means, of course, I'm going to need more copper, blah, blah, blah. So I'll have to check a lot of things. I am going to double check, make sure whatever resources I need to bring into here to expand out, because, you know, we have more other stuff that needs to be set up. I think coal and copper and whatnot on top of the bauxite here. But as far as renting the trails and trains and stuff, I'll have that done. But I think that is going to do it for today. We can maybe pull it in a few minutes shorter than we normally do. I'm going to change out my hover pack for a jet pack, so I can run away quickly if I need to. But I'm pretty sure I already killed the guys who were guarding Mr. Purple here. There you go. And, ooh, I can hear you snorting. There you are. Too slow. Too bad. But with that last little kind of bit of adventure there, we're going to call it put a plug. We're going to... I don't know what words. We're going to call it quits here. Thanks for watching, everyone. Always appreciate it. To the viewers currently joining me right now, thank you for hanging in there. Thanks for watching with me. Thanks for hanging out with me this morning. I really appreciate it. Little channel announcement. I'm still working on figuring out what I'm going to do, but thanks to your guys' support, I am now officially a YouTube partner. Which means I can now qualified. I will be offering channel memberships, I think, because that's what I'm now qualified to do. Not quite at the next stage. But I'm just kind of figuring out what I'm going to do for membership. And I'm thinking just maybe either some exclusive content or maybe early content. I haven't really decided yet, but that is what I am going to be looking at. So stay tuned for kind of any announcements on channel membership. So if you really want to support the channel, we can start get some stuff there. And again, I thank you for your guys' support, and I thank you for watching. Next week, we will get the aluminum going. That is for sure. We might even be able to get the fused frames going, but remember, we also have to expand the steel on top of the aluminum. So there's lots to do for those fused frames. That's kind of why I put it off, because I knew that I was going to be a little bit more involved in that, but it is one of those ones that is kind of a nexus, which means we can't really move on without them. So we are going to have to get them manufactured. But that is going to be for next week. For this week, I'm going to just say, hey, everyone, stay safe out there. Be good. And have yourselves a great, great day. Remember, if you like what you've seen, hit the like button. If you're not subscribed and you've been watching for 2 hours and 45 minutes, maybe think about subscribing. You know, if you've been enjoying what you've seen so far, maybe you'll enjoy some more of it. Hit the notification button if you're falling behind. Pardon me, my throat is just really feeling the tickles. I hope I'm not coming down with something. Hey, if you feel like you see something that you want to comment on, you know what to do? You can do? You can comment. Maybe go ahead and do a comment on that. But until then, thanks for watching. Bye-bye.